so that the people who are God's children but have lost their faith or have not yet heard the good news can hear the good news of Jesus Christ, can hear of the love and forgiveness of God. You are the 70. It could be said that Rilla is Moses, and Terry, and Vicki, and Joe, and Beverly, and all of these priests. And that what we are is somehow trying to lead you through the wilderness to the promised land. But all of you are the folks that help us do that, so that the whole world will come to the promised land. We go from the Numbers passage into this passage, this beautiful, beautiful passage from Paul, from Ephesians. And how all of us have different gifts. And that's the other thing we celebrate tonight. Or the second thing we celebrate. That each of us have different gifts and different responsibilities. We'll begin the service of ordination, that middle part that we're going to do. We're going to begin that with a baptismal covenant to remind us that some of us are evangelists, some of us are teachers, some of us are prophets, some of us are healers. It seemed to me, as I was wrestling with these lessons, I thought, well, the 70 is a neat number because the Jews and all the numerologists have all these things that go with these numbers. But here's another reason, that there are 70 ways, 70 gifts of the Spirit that we all share in various combinations for the health and salvation of the world. That each of us has the Spirit poured out upon us so that that neighbor of yours who is so afraid that the world is falling in around her will know no fear because of your care. These gifts are poured out upon us so that that co-worker you have who lives with depression will know that someone loves her. The gifts are poured out so that those people you meet in the street who are hungry can be fed and housed and visited in prison. The Spirit is poured out upon the church for the sake of the world, so that we can be the body of Christ, given and broken for the world. And here's the third piece of the good news, that Jesus comes to us as the bread of life. Perhaps the central thing image that we have of what it means to be a priest is to stand at that altar and to receive the offerings of the people of bread and wine and gifts and money and experiences and prayers and life, and gather all those things and bless them. And in that blessing, they are transformed into the body and blood of Christ. To the living bread come down from heaven to feed us, to make us whole and holy, to give us new life. But Rilla, or any of us who are standing at that altar, all we do is preside at that. The offerings come from the whole community. sign of that blessing. We are the ones who gather all those prayers, the ones that hear all the brokenness. And we, together, are the body of Christ, laid out on that altar, blessed, broken, and shaken. Jesus has taught us that it is in this blessing and breaking and sharing that new life comes to us. That each of us participates in the life of God through Jesus. The good news of Jesus Christ is that God is coming to us through Christ in so many ways. In bread and wine, in our love for one another, in the prayers we are given and the prayers we give, in the blessing of our community. Tonight, we remember our own baptisms. We remember that the Spirit is poured out upon all of us. And we ordain Rilla to gather us as community, to challenge us, to pour out, be the instrument of the pouring out of that Spirit, to be the trainer for the body of Christ, to build it up in love. Rilla, you are called not to be chaplain to a bunch of individuals, but be the gatherer and the shepherd and the prophet and the elder of a community. A community of Christ's followers. Called to grow us, to make us one, and to send us forth into the world and witness the gospel.